Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Francesa podcast on the Mike Francesa channel, on the Bet Rivers Network, on YouTube on this Saturday night. Well, we have 3 rounds of the Masters in the books, and leave it to the Masters to really deliver again the kind of drama, the kind of storylines that you can just hope for in a big sporting event. Everybody went into this weekend hoping that we could get a final confrontation, a Sunday showdown between Rory McIlroy and Scottie Scheffler. Scottie Scheffler, who has struggled this year. Now, remember, the last 2 years, he has completely brought the sport to its knees. He has been absolutely prolific. He's had 95 straight weeks as the number 1 player in the world. He has completely dominated. He's won 2 of the last 3 green jackets. He won tournament after tournament. He shocked the world with his come from behind win in the Olympics. I mean, he's done everything. Now, he has not won yet this year. He clearly has been bothered by an injury, and he just, again today, when you were hoping on moving day that he would take off, he didn't. It didn't happen. So he's not there. Now, maybe you're a believer that he's going to go out tomorrow and post a 62 and make everybody live up to it. I don't think so. I just don't think he is completely on his game. Over the last 2 days, he's missed putts he should make. He has missed shots with his irons that he usually just hits stone cold dead. They haven't been there. They're off just enough to make it frustrating. Today, he had a couple of putts slip out. The 2 best putts he made today were both long par putts. One from about 12 feet, and then on 18, one from about 8, 9 feet. That was for par. He played the round even. He struggled yesterday in the wind in the afternoon, and he finds himself 7 strokes off the lead and in 8th place, or tied for 6th place and 7th place overall. It's unlikely that the world number 1 is going to become the storyline tomorrow. But lo and behold, we have 2 incredible storylines tomorrow. The first, well, you've heard it, and for some, I know it's a tired one. And clearly, Rory McIlroy's had a great career. He has been trying to both finalize his Grand Slam by winning it at Augusta, and also trying to break through and win another major, as he has gone 10 years since he's won a major. He has participated in 38 straight major contests without a victory. Now he takes a 2-stroke lead after DeChambeau's heroics on 18, leaves him now in the final group and leaves him 2 strokes behind Rory. Now, you have the story of Rory trying to complete the Grand Slam, something Phil Mickelson never did, never won a U.S. Open, finished second a bunch of times, blew the lead on 2 times and won just unbelievably. Arnold Palmer never won a Grand Slam, meaning winning all 4 majors. Arnold didn't do it. Sam Snead didn't do it. Phil Mickelson didn't do it. So it's not easy to do. A lot of great players have never done it. So to do it is an accomplishment. There's no question. Just look at the list of people who have done it. But it's now been 10 years since he's even won a major. And he has had his moments. Now, the bottom line is that's storyline number 1. Storyline number 2 is the emergence of DeChambeau, as even though he's part of LIV, as an incredibly popular figure with the American golf fans, because he has thrown himself out there. He tirelessly signs autographs. He high-fives everybody for a country mile. He'll be out there right now. If you could take a shot at Augusta, I guarantee he's out there either signing autographs or fist bumping people right and left. Everybody's rooting for him, and he has become this captivating, entertaining figure. Plus, you have really, there are a couple of people who can hit the ball with Rory. But the only one who stands completely toe to toe with him, even Scheffler doesn't, off the tee, is DeChambeau. He won't give him an inch on power. He will attack the golf ball the same way and attack the fairway the same way that Rory will. So Rory, who can intimidate guys by outdriving them by 40 and 50 yards a hole, is not going to do that against DeChambeau. Plus, let's be honest, these two don't love each other. And you even got the reaction today at the end of the round. Here's Rory trying to handle the pressure after two great rounds. He was -4. You know, he had two doubles going in on Thursday. He was even par, 7 strokes behind Justin Rose. He comes out and shoots an incredible round Friday. He comes out and shoots an incredible round today, puts up 6 threes to start his card, has an incredible round, 2 eagles, 6 threes to start his card, 2 eagles on the round. I mean, this is a round that you know it's going to be incredibly hard to duplicate. And there is DeChambeau birdieing 3 of the last 4 holes and making that long putt on 18, which he would have brought the house down except for the fact that he knew Rose still hadn't putted. So he was trying to be courteous. Otherwise, he would have just brought the entire place out and down after making that putt. If Rose was already in, he wasn't. So he had to be cognizant of his playing partner. But he clearly wanted, and let the course reporters know today, I want to be in that last group. And all of them said the same thing. Do you think Rory wants him in the last group? The answer is no. There's no love lost. They've had some issues. And while Rory today said, took the bows for his wonderful round, when he was asked about the pairing, said, I'll just try and stay in my cocoon and not let the things that he does affect me. Won't happen. This guy plays to the audience during the round. If he hits a big shot, he's going to stir the crowd up. He's going to run and fist bump. He's going to wave his arms. He is going to get the crowd going crazy. And this would have been, if he was playing with anybody else tomorrow, within reason, Rory was going to be a huge sentimental favorite and a historical favorite. Now, that is going to be an incredibly divided group, and they're going to be more in favor of DeChambeau than they are even Rory, because he's going to stir the crowd up like crazy, and he emotes to the crowd while Rory doesn't. So that's going to put there's enough pressure on Rory to handle tomorrow. He's got to sit on leaderboard tonight. He's got to deal with history. He might never have a better chance. He's coming off 2 incredible rounds. Everything has gone his way, and now he's got to deal with this. Not only deal with trying to finish off and get that green jacket, get that Grand Slam that he has coveted for year after year after year, but also deal with the antics of DeChambeau. And they will be antics. First of all, DeChambeau will try to make it a mano-a-mano thing. He will be every bit as aggressive as Rory is. They'll play, can you top this? And on top of that, Rory doesn't want to get into a shootout with his partner. But there's going to be no way around it, because he is going to be engaged by DeChambeau. That's what's going to happen. And if DeChambeau gets even or ahead, that thing's going to turn into a 3-ring circus. So we got 18 holes of this. The buildup for it's going to be tremendous. They're going to dig up all the stuff that went on at the U.S. Open, all the stuff that was said. We know there's no love lost. And now, just the way they handled it, Rory tried to downplay it. DeChambeau said, this is what dreams are made of. I can't wait. I can't think of anything I would ever want more, he said after the round. Where do you see guys embrace it the way he embraced this? He's not hiding the fact he wants Rory. So this is going to be tremendous tomorrow. Now, is anybody else still in this tournament? That's always, can somebody sneak up? Hey, without any pressure, yes, somebody could go and post the score. And let me tell you, if you ever saw Norman with Faldo, and go back and check out tonight if you have a moment, the Norman collapse. Okay, one of the saddest things you'll ever see in sports or on a golf course. But it can happen in a moment, in a blink of an eye. And 3 and 4 shot leads can leave like that. One good hole, one bad hole, all of a sudden it's all gone. Now, you can't take anybody seriously. And the only guy I'm taking seriously at -5 is Scheffler, because he has had a habit of doing this, as he did in the Olympics. So, is he capable of going out there tomorrow, teeing off 45 or an hour in front of the leaders? He will be in the, let's see, he will be in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He'll be in the 4th group tomorrow. So he will tee off at 50, 240, like 220, or 220 or 210, and the other guys will be out around 245, 250. Now, he could go out and post that score. He's been the best player in the world for years. He has that kind of ability. Do I think he will do it tomorrow? I do not. I have great respect for Reed, who has a big game ability, and he's a former Masters winner, but I know he's -6 now. I don't think he can post a winning score. I do think Oberg at -6 is a threat to go out, get hot, no pressure, and go out and just post a monster score, especially if these two start getting more involved in their head-to-head matchup than they do in the scoreboard, and all of a sudden somebody else sneaks up on them. Could it happen? Yes. Connors is 8 under. He actually deserved better today. If you take his drives and his Long Iron play, everything except his short wedges, which were okay but weren't great. If you take his iron play and his drives today, he played about as well as you can play the game. He missed a bunch of makeable putts. And I'll tell you this, I watched the whole round. He got at least 3 bad bounces where the ball usually would go one way and either spun or just hit something and went the other way. And he got 2 or 3 really terrible breaks that should have been tap-in birdies, and he wound up having to make putts for birdie that just didn't go down. He's 8 under par. He played 2 under today. He actually hit the ball a lot better than that. And I'll tell you, you probably don't know much about Connors unless you're a real big golf fan. He hits the ball about as consistently as anybody this side of Scotty Scheffler. He hits the ball brilliantly. He really does. I mean, he's an iron player as good as Morikawa or Scheffler, and those are the best iron players in the world. Scheffler's putting can be hot and cold. Plus, he's had the injury this year, and he hasn't won yet this year. That's the one difference. The last couple of years, he has won coming into Augusta. This year, he has not. And he has been completely slowed by that injury. And he was not himself. He wasn't himself in the win yesterday afternoon, and he wasn't himself today. Early on, he missed putts he could have made. And then he just had some bad shots and some mistakes. He got a little unlucky on 13. He hit a great shot, and it just bounced one hop too hard and bounced into the back bunker. He could have been putting that for an eagle. Okay, he had 2 that lipped out on him. That happens to a lot of guys over an 18-hole round. I'm not making any excuses for him. He didn't play well enough today, and I don't think he will play well enough tomorrow. So while you can't have more respect for Scotty Scheffler than I do, I don't think he's going to be a major factor tomorrow. I think of the guys behind the big two, the one that I would keep an eye on is Oberg. And if Oberg he's -6. If he's -2 or -3 on his way to Amen Corner, pay close attention because he might post a real score. If he's not, if he's still -6 when he gets to number 10 or 11, I wouldn't pay him much mind. So just see where he is. But if he gets to -9 on the front nine, watch out. He might turn around and post a score that could be a factor in the competition because these guys are going to be very much from get-go tomorrow hung up on each other. Anything they hear tonight is going to be about that. Anything they read tomorrow morning or hear tomorrow morning, and I understand for a lot of people tomorrow is a religious day. Okay, it's Palm Sunday. So people tomorrow have a little different schedule than they might on a normal Sunday. It's not Easter Sunday, but it's Palm Sunday. And we'll see how, I don't know who that involves. I know it involves Scotty Scheffler very heavily. I don't know what it does for Rory or for DeChambeau. I do not know. But the bottom line is anything they are confronted with is going to be about this matchup. And clearly, DeChambeau will go out of his way to embrace it, and he will go out of his way before the matchup to embrace it every step of the way. He wants it. He wants the confrontation, and he wants as much buzz about it as he can get. He's reveling in this. He said this is a dream come true. Rory, you could tell, didn't want any part of it. I'll try to stay inside my cocoon and not let it affect me. I don't think that's possible. I don't think at 18 holes will work that way. I think he's going to have to deal head-to-head with DeChambeau, and that's what DeChambeau is going to want to do, engage him. He's going to want to engage him in terms of how they hit the golf ball, who hits the golf ball longer, and it's everything else. And it's only 2 strokes between the two. McIlroy, for all his prowess today, is just 2 strokes ahead of DeChambeau. Remember, he went out and DeChambeau went out and birdied 15, 16, and 18. And so he's 10 under par, including making that long putt on 18, which made this even more intense and really ratcheted up. It kind of pushed the chips to the middle of the table for tomorrow. We all wanted DeChambeau. Down the stretch, we all wanted DeChambeau to be in that final grouping. I think every one of those announcers can't wait for this. They're salivating, and they should. It's great sport. It's great theater. It's great drama. It's what we love about sports. Go mano a mano. And if you try to ignore that, hard to do. Because Rory, in his own way, while he'll maybe ignore the other playing partner, he's sending a message when he goes up and rips a 360-yard drive to intimidate the heck out of you by hitting it straight ahead, saying, try and do that. Well, there are very few humans who can. DeChambeau is one who can. He is not going to be the least bit impressed with Rory's power. He's got every bit as much dynamite in his bag. And that's what makes this fascinating. But Rory has the lead, number one. Number two, he's the one who has the baggage right now. And DeChambeau has carried plenty of baggage. Okay. And anybody who's going to live has. There's no question about it. But he has gone out of his way to cultivate the embrace of the fans. And the one thing about fans, is if you respond to them, they will always respond to you. If you go out there and sign autographs, if you go out and fist bump them, if you engage them, they will always engage you back and give you more than you got. Rory doesn't even, you don't even know the crowd's there. He doesn't crack a smile. He doesn't even look at the crowd. He doesn't acknowledge with the tip of the cap. He just pays no attention to it. He just goes about his game, which is fine. He has every right to play that way. But he's playing against a guy who's going to play this like he's playing Hamlet. He loves it. He can't get enough of it. You saw him when he made the putt on 16. He gave them a growl and a face bump and one of those poses that the crowd went crazy on. They love this stuff. And he does it tomorrow while Rory's acting like they're not there. Hey, you know how they're going to turn? They're going to embrace the guy that's acknowledging them. And that's what he will do all day. Plus, he's got the power to match the power, which makes it a fascinating matchup. And DeChambeau's game, Rory's game, Brad Faxon's done a good job with Rory's putting. No question about it. Rory's a more confident putter than he was. Rory's putting has killed him in big spot time and time again. Today, at times, it got a little leaky because he hit the ball great today. Okay? I mean, he played some holes today. He played 15 as well as 15 cannot be played better. If you had a textbook, you would hit Rory's drive, Rory's 6-iron, and then Rory's putt, which was an eagle. Okay? You can't have a better hole than the way he played 15. And it was obviously 15 that got him in round one because he hit it over the green and was aggressive with his playback and put it in the water. And that started him on his way back to an even par day. He paid that hole back today in a big way with it about as good a drive and about as good as an iron as you can possibly humanly hit. But he's not 6 strokes in front. He's 2 strokes in front. And he has no physical edge. If you want to think he's the better player, be my guest. I have no problem with that. Has he done more in his career than DeChambeau has yet? Yes. He's also older. He's had a lot more opportunities. DeChambeau is a 2-time U.S. Open champion. It's not like he doesn't know his way around a major. And there's no love lost. And one guy told you, hey, this is a dream come true for me. And the other guy looked like you were feeding him something he didn't want to eat. Will that make a difference tomorrow? We'll see. That's what we'll find out. It's what makes sports great is we'll find out. Rory's going to get challenged tomorrow. He's going to have a tough night tonight, sitting on the lead. He's got everything, 11 years, all the commentary, everything that's gone on, Rory can't win the big one. He chokes. He does this. He does that. He's been hearing this for years now, as it's been year after year after year since he's won a major. Well, now he's here. Now he is 18 holes away, and he has just come with back-to-back brilliant performances. And really, if you take away 2 holes on the back 9 on Thursday, he's played this tournament about as well as the tournament can possibly be played. He would be, if you take away the 2 double bogeys, he's 16 under par. Now, you can't take them away because today you had 2 eagles. You might want to take those away. But the idea is he has completely brought the course to its knees the last 2 days. And today he got hot as hot can get, and then he cooled off, missed a couple of putts, typical Rory, and then gave back a couple of strokes, but then he got to 13 and 15, and he got healthy, which is what's going to happen with him. He's going to get to those holes. He's going to get healthy because the one thing Rory does is, Rory can drive it as far as you can drive it, and most of the time, it's right in the middle of the fairway. Not always, but often. DeChambeau has to keep things under control. Not that he will be intimidated by the spot, he will not. What he has to do is he sometimes is so strong, he has trouble controlling his irons. I mean, he had a 7 iron into 13 and he overshot the green. I mean, that's just who he is. He actually will hit the ball often too long. It's just the way, he goes after it in a very big way. But his game has become fascinating. Everyone knows about the angles and the scientists and all the different things that he's come up with and all the quirky things he's come up with. Okay, and all the abuse he's taken for that stuff. But now he has become a captivating figure in golf. There's no question about it. And that lands him now in this big spot with so much on the line in golf's most, I think, important. Of course, people can argue that, but I don't think there's any question that the Masters is still the event. I'm not knocking the U.S. Open. I'm not knocking the British Open, but the Masters is still the event. And now you have this classic, absolute showdown with so much on the line, so many things to be answered. Throw in some good old fashioned animosity. I don't want to say hatred, but animosity. And you have what you like in sports, a great showdown between two incredibly talented players, two legitimate championship players. No one disputes that either one of them is not a championship player. And this makes Rory's trying to do something that is historical. And DeChambeau is trying to take that next step. And a win tomorrow for him will land him in a place that he has never been in before. That's how much his star would be elevated by a win tomorrow and a green jacket. It would be crushing. Crushing. Now, Rory's not going in with an insurmountable lead. He's only got a 2-stroke lead. Okay, it looked for a while like he was going to go in with a 5 or a 6-stroke lead. It didn't happen. A lot of people were just gauging it on what his lead was over Scheffler, which grew to 7. Don't worry about Scheffler right now. I understand Scheffler's role in this whole thing, but don't worry about that right now. This is now about McIlroy, DeChambeau, their showdown, and I would pay a little attention, or maybe more than a little, if Oberg gets off well. He got out well in day 1. He lay dormant all game round 2 and most of today, and then he caught a little fire on the back side today and went from 3 under par to 6 under par. 6 under par still puts him 6 strokes off the lead. Rory's 12 under. Not insurmountable, but it's supposed to score a number. And that number would have to be, let's be honest, for the most part, you can't see both DeChambeau and McIlroy shooting badly tomorrow. I mean, it's humanly possible, but it's not likely. And the winner in the Masters has come out of the last group in 8 straight years, discounting the Masters that during the crisis was played in November with threesome, so you can't count that one. Throw that one out, and the last 8 Masters were played. Have been contested where the winner came out of the last group, so you didn't have to look far. 8 straight Masters, the winners come out of the last grouping. The winner most likely tomorrow will come. I'd say there's about an 80% chance, maybe even an 85% chance the winner comes out of the last grouping tomorrow. It would be unusual if it's not. They have a lead. You would think that Rory would play well enough to hold off everybody but DeChambeau. He's got a 4-stroke lead over Connors. He's got a 6-stroke lead over anybody else. It's going to take a lot to get anybody else to him, unless you think he's going to shoot a 75 or more tomorrow, which I would doubt. I can't see him with his length being that far off the game. I could see him having his rough spots. I don't see a total collapse. But we have as good a matchup and as exciting a storyline as you could have. This is must watch. Even if you're not a big golf guy, you got to love this. This is just high drama. It really is. This is Rory trying to get something that means so much to him. He has been in this quest for this for 11 years. And the one guy he probably didn't want to play with was DeChambeau. And there he is, getting hot. And when he made the putt on 18, it just swelled the storyline that much more. It just ratcheted things up that much more. Now, here are the updated Bet Rivers odds for tomorrow. Rory is minus 225. Okay, so they think he has a better than 2-1 chance to hang on. DeChambeau is plus 275. Not a bad price. Where if you think he only has to beat one guy. If you want to go somewhere else, you're getting paid for it. Connors is 14-1. Oberg is 33-1. They posted Scheffler at 40-1, and he went right down to 30-1. He right now is leveled off at 33-1. So the Scheffler fans are still in there saying, hey, I know Scotty can do this. I've seen him do it before. I'm taking a flyer on him at 40-1. Well, it was 40-1. It went down to 30-1. And it came back. Now it's 33-1. Same as Oberg. Now, remember that they are separated by only 1 stroke. But you haven't seen the consistency in either of their games yet this weekend. And then Patrick Reed is the only other one I'm going to mention, and he's 70-1. I think you can forget the rest. Like I said, I don't expect Scheffler heroics tomorrow. Oberg is the guy to look for if you're looking for the long shot or the third-party movement. The guy that comes and posts the score while the other two are battling it out. I think it would be him. But Rory is considered right now the 2-1, 225-1 favorite, while DeChambeau is plus 275. One other thing. And we'll be here tomorrow night. As soon as the Masters ends, we'll do a retrospective on what happened, why, how, who, the whole thing. Now, a couple of baseball notes. Yankees beat the Giants today, 8-4. Mets got beat in that little minor league park, and it is a bandbox. It really is. 3-1. The Mets have played 14 games. They have not yet played 1/10 of the schedule. The weather in New York has been brutal. They're now on the West Coast, as we know. They're going from there to Minnesota. I already hear the buzz. Oh, Soto's not handling the pressure. I understand Judge has got 6 homers and 20 RBIs and is hitting 358. I understand Alonso's off to a wonderful start. He's got 18 RBIs. I don't think he had them at RBI today. If he did, I apologize. No, he didn't. Um, that came on a nimble homer. Soto is not done anything yet. He's one homer, 4 RBIs, 49 at bats, hitting 265, unSoto like, 818 OPS, unSoto like. I understand. Do I think this is because of the contract? I think that is possible. I think that is a possibility over the first quarter of the season, that it could be something that is in the back of his mind, that he needs to step up and prove himself to justify the huge contract. I'm sure he's hearing that everywhere. That would be human nature. But this is a guy who is as proven as you can possibly be as a performer. Okay? This is a proven guy. He's got a lifetime on base percentage of 421. Do I think he's going to hit as many home runs as he hit in Yankee Stadium? I do not. I think he'll probably hit somewhere around 30 home runs or 32 home runs, something like that. He'll score more runs than he knocks in because of the walks. I would not worry about him. He has proven he can play in New York. He has proven he can play in the big game. He is not new to this, okay? He is not a babe in the woods. He is not new to this whole thing. I think that people were looking for this to happen and they want to jump on it. Do I think it's humanly possible that even for someone who came and hit the ground running as well as he did in pinstripes last year? And listen, I think that was a harder move than people gave him credit for this reason. He fit in seamlessly with the Yankees. He had a guy behind him who was not only going to offer protection, but was always going to take the pressure off him. They formed the best 1-2 punch in Major League Baseball. One was righty, one was lefty. Everything. One was a natural guy whose art is to have power and to get on base. The other guy is all around power and performance. Judge might not be the situational hitter that Soto is. Soto is not the all-around player that Judge is. Soto is a brilliant situational hitter because he is as disciplined and as aware at the plate as any offensive player I have seen in a very long time. But I believe I have seen so many guys come to New York, great players, Piazza, great players, great hitters, Piazza, Clemens, and go down the list of guys who came here and felt pressure to prove themselves right away. Now, remember, he's already done it in New York. But now his role has changed. He's got more responsibility to the bottom line with the Mets, and that was what he was undertaking. He was not only going to be their best player. With the Yankees, he never was going to be responsible for what he is going to be responsible with the Mets, where he is responsible for whether the team wins or loses. He is responsible for whether there are people in the ballpark. He is responsible for everything that happens to that franchise, because that is the role he accepted when he accepted that contract. With that comes responsibility. Is it possible that he is pressing a little bit to show everybody that he's still the same player? That's possible. Human nature would be that way. But remember, Baseball players often have bad 50 at bat spurts. Okay, his isn't outrageously. I mean, he's got a homer, he's got 4 RBIs, he's got double-digit walks, he's got an 818 OPS, not a 600 OPS. He's got a 265 batting average. He doesn't have a 140 batting average. He, I understand, has to measure to judge now, and he's responsible for everything Mets. They packed the ballpark their first chance. Check. They're 9-5. Check. Everything he has a hand in now. That's part of what he has accepted. Does it add pressure? Yes. Will he be fine? Yes. Do I have any worries about him performing? I do not, offensively in the least. Could he be pressing? Absolutely could be. It would be. They've played 14 games. Let's see some 75-degree days in New York. Let's see a couple of weeks of steady baseball, and then we can make a decision on how his play is. Yankee fans were looking to jump at this because they're scorned. So they were looking to jump at this. Their love left them, and they wanted to have gained 20 pounds. Okay, I mean, and to not look as good. Or it's the same thing. They don't want him to perform as well as he did in pinstripes. It's human nature. But 14 games is way, way too early for that. Now, one thing that I keep watching and keeps building is Vientos. I have told you that I did not expect Vientos to struggle mightily this year because of what I saw in the postseason. I have been dead wrong so far. He has struggled mightily. He's had 50 at-bats. He has 6 hits. He's got 1 RBI. He's got no home runs. And the ball jumps off his bat. He has no home runs. He struck out 10 times already. He has had his moments in the field. He has had his moments not hustling. He has clearly been impacted by the start. And the longer it goes, the harder it will be for him to dig himself out of this. He's still a baby. You know that? He's had a handful of major league at bats. He's had 700 at bats for his career. He's 25 years old. He's still learning. He had a big year last year. He had 400 at bats. He had 27 home runs. He knocked in 70 runs. He had a great postseason. He was unstoppable in the postseason. Is he starting to worry me? Yeah, because I think this is starting to fester a little bit. It bears some watching. I've been waiting for him to knock one out of the park. Okay? This is a kid right now who is slugging at 160. Okay? 160. This is a kid who slugged 520 last year. This is a kid who had 27 homers, 22 doubles, and 400 at bats. That's 50 extra base hits and 400 at bats. And then dominated in the postseason. He's struggling. And it's all in his head. We all know he can do it. But it's reached the point now where I would be a little concerned about it. Not crazy. I don't want to take him out of the lineup. I would just be very conscious of it. Where I put him in the batting order, how I made sure I got him in the right spot where he'd get a couple of fastballs in the right game. Trying to take things and make him a little easier for him, if possible. Set him up a little bit, just for a little success, because a little success is all it's going to take. He just needs to see the ball go out of the park. He just has to believe again that he can be the player he was last year. Is he doubting that? Absolutely, he's doubting that. People doubt it all the time. Anything that is performance related, if people see the performance drifting, they worry about it. Don't let anybody tell you they don't. They do. And people who have a lot more success in the bank than he does. Okay, some people are talking about how Soto is feeling it. Look how much success he's had. Look at the resume he commands. And you're thinking, Vientos, is there any chance he's not feeling it? He's feeling it. I would not in the least give up on him in any way. But would I be a little concerned about it? I would, because it could fester. We'll see you tomorrow.